So today I would like to have a look at Yellow Ochre by Michael Harding. This is PY42, it's a semi-transparent pigment and this is series 1. So as usual for this type of video I will create 3 swatches. The first one is to show you the color mass tone, the color out of the tube. The second one is to show you the transparency of the color, and the third one is the color mixed into the white. I use a Utrecht white, which is a combination between titanium white and zinc white. Here at the beginning, I'm trying to show you the consistency of the paint, how the paint feels when I manipulate the paint with my palette knife. I have to say that Yellow Ochre by Michael Harding is a very good feeling. It's very pleasant to work with this paint. So I will say it's a buttery feeling. It's a very soft paint. It's very very enjoyable to manipulate the paint with my palette knife. So Yellow Ochre is a orange yellow, so it's a yellow that leans towards red. It's a very warm yellow. It's a yellow that is not fully saturated, but it's not fully desaturated neither. I would say it sits right in the middle. This is why it's a very useful yellow to have on the palette. It's a very old pigment. It's one of the oldest pigment in paint history, and it's found on most of artist palette. So I used to use Yellow Ochre when I started oil painting in May 2021. Yellow Ochre was on my limited palette, and then when I finally found the palette that I like, my limited palette that you see in the background, I put Yellow Ochre on the side and I stopped using it. I have been using the palette that you see in the background for over a year now, even more, almost 2 years I think, and I'm very used to, and I really like this limited palette. But I feel the need to add some extra colors on my palette, mostly to reach the color that I need to mix faster. I sometimes waste too much time when I try to reach a color. If you look at my 2 yellows here on my palette, these are extremely saturated yellows and I constantly need to desaturate them, so sometimes I waste too much time and I feel the need to add extra colors. That's why I'm making this series of video where I test new colors, and I will decide which of them make it on my limited palette or on my palette. So basically when I go outside to paint, I'm trying to carry the least possible amount of colors in order to stay lightweight as much as possible. So unfortunately, I noticed that with my limited palette, which is a great palette, I can mix almost any color I want with this palette, but again, I waste too much time. Sometimes I spend too much time mixing my colors, so I really need some shortcuts, and the color that I add to this palette is mostly just a shortcut in order to reach the color faster, and Yellow Ochre is most likely to be the first color that I'm gonna add to my limited palette. So if you want to have a look at all the colors that I currently have on my limited palette, you can check my video Limited Palette 2025, and here it's Yellow Ochre mixed into the white for the last swatch. So there is another advantage of using earth color on your palette or on my palette. The palette that you see in the background is a pretty expensive palette. There is some earth color. There is one earth color only actually, so the pigments are pretty expensive, and well, if I have a few earth color that I use the most, basically the earth color, most of them, they are series 1, so they are the cheapest color in one brand. So this is very useful to have a few earth color that you can use mainly, so that way the cadmium colors are less used, and you need to replace them less often, which is always good for the wallet. So there we go. This is plenty of reason for me to add some colors. I'm constantly very careful on each color that I will add to my palette, because I know my palette very well now, and I need to be careful on which color I will add on my palette. So Yellow Ochre, it's a color that I know already, so I know it's gonna be added to my palette, and for the the other color that I want to add, I'm gonna have to make some tests, and I will share that with you on the channel. So please subscribe if you're not subscribed yet and you're interested in this type of content. I also share my progress in plein air painting, portrait painting, and still life painting in the studio. So make sure to subscribe, like, and comment this video. Share this video if you thought it was useful, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next one.